Police have seized a 13-year-old girl in Houston from her two black legal guardians without cause. Now, this 13-year-old girl, Landry Thompson, was in Houston for dance training. She wants to be a dancer. And the two black men that she was with was Emmanuel Hurd and Josiah Kelly. They're actually her dance instructors. Now, she was going to go away during the weekend with them so they can train in dance. And her parents actually signed a legal document. It was a notarized legal document indicating that for that weekend, these two men will be her legal guardians. However, they stopped at a gas station to get directions to the hotel that they were staying at, and because of a long day of training, they say that they all dozed off in the car. Well, police showed up and asked why this 13-year-old girl was with these two black men in the car. They explained the situation, showed the document, the notarized legal document indicating that they were the legal guardians for this 13-year-old, and police didn't care. They seized the girl, they put her with Child Protective Services, and the two black men were detained. They had no reason to detain them, and they still have not given a reason for why they did what they did. The only crime here was that a 13-year-old white girl was in a car with two black men.
So, you know, I don't look at it as harshly, but I wonder how you guys, you know, where you think the line should have been drawn. So first off, if a cop comes and sees a 13-year-old, forget the races, a 13-year-old girl with two grown men of any race, right? I don't blame the cop for checking in on that. Yeah, I like that the cop checked in on that.
Checking in and doing what they did, two completely different things. If they want to ask questions, I totally understand that. I think they should ask questions, right? Regardless of whether or not they're black or white or whatever, right? If you see people passed out in a car at a gas station, as a cop, you know, you can say that they're loitering, you want to see what's going on, that's totally understandable. But for them to show the document and say, here's a notarized document indicating that we are not doing anything wrong, we just passed out, we're sorry, we're going to leave now. And they still ignore that, and they detain the two men for 11 hours.
Well, so 11 hours?
11 hours.
What are they doing for 11 hours? Can't they call the girl's mother?
I know. So that's the thing I was going to say. Would you have where do you draw the line? Would you have let them go as soon as you saw the document? Because I don't know that I would have.
I wouldn't.
And I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't think. I mean, as long as there wasn't a ruckus, I would have said, hey, look, guys. You got to understand the situation here. I can't let you go with this 13-year-old girl. I see what you're saying with the notarized document, but I got to check up on it, right? So you can either come with me to the, you know, to the police station. You can stay in the car, whatever it is. But I got to call the mom. I can't just let you leave here.
All right, so
on the other hand, don't get me wrong. Handcuffing them, detaining them for 11 hours, assuming they're guilty, you know, not caring about the paper is clearly over the line.
I totally disagree with you. So Emmanuel Hurd said the following: they just pulled us out of the car and put our hands behind our backs like we were criminals. The officer asked me, who's the girl? And I said, she's my student. And the girl's mother, Destiny, said the following. She said, I was horrified. She was with the people I wanted her to be with. She was with people I trusted. And now she was taken away from these people and put in a shelter with people I didn't know. So how does that make the situation any better?
Look, if they just thought that all three of them were being suspicious, like three people passing out at a gas station, that's fine. You can ask them questions if you want to. But going up and saying, what are you doing with that girl? Like, we kind of dismissed the racial stuff a little bit too quickly. If it had been two white males, it would have been like, what are you doing with that girl? We're together. She's not giving you any indication that she's been kidnapped or anything like that. I don't believe that criminals are, like, is this a new trend where they get notarized documentation before committing a crime? I don't think that that's likely. I'm just saying that they would not have gone to this extent if it had been two white guys that were with her.
Of course not. Of course not.
Well, that was going to be the second question I asked, so you guys are clear on that. But look, there's so many kidnapping. There's stories about, like, you know, the girls that are kidnapped and then sold off into sex slavery, et cetera, et cetera. So if I'm a cop, you know, I think that's good that they're on the lookout for it. But I hear what John is saying, that if it's a 13-year-old black girl, I think that they probably think, well, maybe they're related. They don't necessarily think like, oh, what are you doing with that girl? That wouldn't be the first question that they would ask. If it was two white guys with a white girl, it wouldn't be the first question they would ask. Now, if it was two white guys with a black girl, would it be the first question that they asked? Probably not. Probably not. Like, they would probably, I don't, like, so the fact, and I hear you guys, the fact that it's two black guys and a white girl, it probably leads them to ask the question of, what are you doing with that girl, right? So I hear you on all that. But nonetheless, but you're saying you totally disagree with me? You really would have just let them go on Okay,
Yes,
here's documentation.
yes, I
I mean,
would.
if I'm a
If
good
they have a
Bulgarian
notarized
kidnapper,
document-
sorry Bulgarians, like,
Yeah.
or whatever, right? I got some sort of BS papers, you know. If I
You know
get
what
pulled
you do,
over,
Jake? You know what you do? You have the 13-year-old call her mother. First of all, they already
But
have
that's
a notarized.
what I agree with.
They already have a notarized document. If that doesn't do enough for you, then you have the 13-year-old call her mother. You don't arrest people in this country. I love how we work. We arrest people first. We detain them for hours, sometimes days, sometimes weeks, and then after everything is exhausted, then we decide, okay, fine, we'll let them go. You just destroyed part of this person's life. You made them stay in a jail cell, or you made them stay at a police station when they did absolutely nothing wrong. So I don't agree with the way we do things here, right? Like, before we detain people, why don't we look at the evidence that's presented to us?
I think we might be talking past each other. I think we all agree that it was wrong of them to arrest that guy. But I think...
Two guys.
Yeah, those guys. And I think also it was the way they did everything they did. Like, according to those guys, they just came over and treated them like criminals.
And they put the 13-year-old girl in Child Protective Services.
I know.
Call her fucking mom.
Yes.
Yeah. And Anna has a great point that unfortunately we flipped the American ideal. The American ideal was innocent until proven guilty. And now it feels so much, and that's why we get so frustrated in all these stories. In all the stories we cover, it feels like you're guilty until proven innocent.
Exactly.
Right? So I 100% hear you on that. I just would have done due diligence here. I wouldn't have just let them go. And we can disagree on that. But I would have called the mom. We all agree. And the thing is, it might take a while to call the mom, right? Maybe it doesn't though. Maybe she just gives you the number.
Yes, I would
like
say-
the daughter gives you the number.
Yeah.
You call the mom. And you
look
go,
at
oh,
her-
I'm sorry, guys. And like, can't cops ever say that? This is something else we can agree on, right? Can't they say, hey, my bad, man. I had to check up because she's a 13-year-old, right?
Right.
And she's obviously not related to you. You want to call that racial, you can call it anything you like, but she's obviously not
What if-
related to you.
what
I
if
had to
she
check
was-
up on it.
What if she was related? Like, what if there are, you know,
Like
two
de Blasio?
two older, you know, black boys in the family or black men in the family. Their parents decided to adopt a young white girl. So like, what? So just because we have a mixed race situation here, we're going to go around harassing people? And again, it's fine to ask questions, but I think that the race definitely played a role in this. Okay, the stereotyping and the common beliefs that people have may not be overt. I think a lot of times people have these feelings subconsciously, and this might be an example of that.